Jamie, this is Robert with Clemson Insider. What's been the hardest thing for you to go through during this COVID experience?
I think the hardest thing when it comes to a team is, building – when you're with your team all year and you get to train in the summer, the hardest thing is to build – or the easiest thing to do then is to build chemistry. So I think that's been a challenge just because you haven't been physically with each other for so long, is building that chemistry. But, we've had great meetings. I've been really happy with the strides, we've taken. But I feel like, it all come together nicely even the first 2 days.
Jamie, what are you seeing from some of the younger freshmen?
We got a bunch of dudes, man. I think the rank speaks for itself. These guys are real talented. You got, the Brazees and the DJs and Malcolm Green, and just a lot of guys that can make plays and, flying around.
Jamie, how important is it for you as one of the leaders of the team during this time to make sure everybody does the right things during COVID?
Yeah. It's very important. If you're a leader, people follow. And one thing we do around here a lot is lead by example. Walk the walk and talk the talk. So, just doing the right thing all the time and staying disciplined and not getting distracted and fighting for that season, literally, off the field, being very cautious and aware, and just staying healthy.
What do you think right now? Obviously, you're hearing lots of things from different people. What's your thoughts on whether we're going to have a football season?
I'm not really too concerned. In my mind, man, I'm out here one day at a time preparing like we're playing. So in my head, you can't tell me we're not playing because, that's my plan right now. So I'm not really worried about if it's going to happen, if it's not. I'm just taking it one day at a time and preparing, like it is.
Anybody have anything else for James?
Yeah, Jamie, this is Larry Williams. Just curious what you've seen out of Trenton Simpson sort of after the long layoff and maybe what kind of a difference, if any, that you've seen out of him since y'all have been back.
Yeah, he got a pick today, made a great play today. Freaky, talented guy. People don't know, man, that guy was a running back in high school. He's only been playing linebacker for a year. So, he's got all the talent in the world, and, playing under a guy like B, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be, an All-American one day. But, freaky talented and, just still growing and still coming into his shell, but he's figuring it out quickly.
What's the hardest part for not just him, but the other young linebackers addressing to Coach Venables and learning the right things and the fundamentals and all that? What's the most difficult adjustment for those young guys?
Everyone, V's got quite the reputation when it comes to how he plays defense, the complexity, the blitz packages, just you got to keep the offense guessing. And it does take time to learn. But I think when you got a bunch of older guys like myself and, with Spector and Jake and, all these guys that can be an extension of him, it's not that big of a challenge when you can help them as much as Coach V can. I think the size of the playbook is the biggest difficulty for him. But when you got a good group that has some years under their belt, it definitely makes it a lot easier for them.
At what point in your career did you realize you were an extension of Coach V?
Probably spring ball after that redshirt year, my third year, was when it like really clicked. And, when I was there was no hesitation when it came to answering questions or, knowing what to do. Yeah, like springtime after the 15-0 Natty year.
Most people don't come in thinking it's going to take that long, right?
Yeah, you don't. Even myself, you think you're going to come in here and play off the bat, and you don't really know. You think you know football in high school, but you don't. You don't know it at all. Except for Trevor. He came in and balled out off rip. But But when you play with V and you really, learn, that it's a puzzle and you got to fit the pieces together, and it takes a lot of time. And but once you get it, you can be one hell of a player.
Anybody have anything else for James?
Yeah, one more thing, if you don't mind. Just curious what your thoughts are on Kane's and McGuire's development so far.
Yeah, man, they're actually running out there, a little Mike and Will tandem right now together, and man, just athletic ball hawks. I've said it before about them, but they just got a nose for the football, and they're making strides. It's funny when you're older, you can kind of see. You can see the stages they're going through, and you can remember those, when you were at that stage. And they're making great strides, and it's only a matter of time for them when, like I said, it clicks. They're going into year 2, year 3, and I think it's 2. Yeah, year 2. So this is a big year, and then next year will be even better for them.